Good evening, everybody. It is me, Jurema. I'm super excited to be going live. It's so funny the way God works. So I've been doing a 5 day challenge that kicks off today with my actual Facebook group, in which I help individuals who are starting their businesses or starting their nonprofits. And you just don't know the type of setup I've had this evening trying to get everything going. But the way God works, He said, no, this is actually something you're going to do on your page that could be shared out to other platforms. So that's what we're doing. Tonight, we're going to kick off this 5 day challenge on my actual Facebook page.
So that's what we do.
But also, I'll be able to share it in my group. So I'm going to get us all set up really quickly, and then we're going to get right into it. And then I'm going to talk about why I wanted to start this 5 day challenge because I think it's so important when we're thinking about getting ready for the new year. All right. So, the 2025 setup 5 day challenge. Why does this matter? Well, first and foremost, as many of you all know, we are in the fourth quarter of 2024. Many of you are feeling it. This year has went by extremely fast. And I believe that we are in a season right now of reflection and renewal and set up for greater. Um, just to give a little background about myself, I have started my nonprofit I started in August of 2018. And since then, we are now in our 6th year. I have learned quite a few things that have helped me in regards to sustaining and growing our nonprofit. One of the things that I wish I had when I was first starting was a support or someone who could walk alongside me and really getting things set up. And so I started in 2020, Jurema Gorham LLC. And what I do is I help individuals with starting their nonprofits, supporting those who already have their nonprofits, helping them with their infrastructures. When it comes to programs and events, like helping you with the setup and the layout for that, and just like what it takes to be able to get strategic partners, funding, marketing, just like all the things. And I have been able over the last 6 years to do quite a few things, right? I've had some very great partnerships, secure funding. We have scaled from just having book clubs to now having a storefront and a festival and all these other things that we partner with. And I'm really grateful at where we are. One of the things, though, that has been extremely instrumental in me being able to do this work is being organized. If you are not organized, there is no way you're going to be able to not only scale your business or sustain your lifestyle and be able to hit your goals, because as many of us know, we are wearing multiple hats, right? I'm a mother, I'm an educator, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, I name the things. I'm a business owner, try to have my personal life. You just have all these different hats. And one of the things I'm always asked is, how do you do it all? Literally, I get asked that a lot. Like, Jurema, how are you doing it all? I'm in grad school, just all the things. And I'm telling you all, organization is key. If you are not organized, and I learned this from being a teacher, if I did not have a strong time management schedule, if I didn't know like where things went in my day, if I didn't have that stuff already planned out, there's no way that I could be able to do the work, right? And I was not someone who started my business full time. I started my business with a full time job. So was a full time educator, along with being a full time business owner, right? Building a business. And one of the things that I realized is that I need to have tools that ensure that I'm able to do this work and I'm able to do it well. And so one of the tools that for day one, which we're going to talk about today, is mastering your Google Calendar. Many of us, maybe still, I am someone who loves paper and pencil. So I do still have a book calendar, right? Like, I love planners. Planners make me happy. I love being able to check something off, like to do was done. But Google calendars have saved my life. Like, I tell people all the time, if it's not on my calendar, it doesn't exist. If it's not on my calendar, I'm not gonna remember, just because it's just so many competing schedules, right? Like I already said, I'm a mom, I'm a business owner, I'm in school, doing all the things, daughter, sister, friend, right? And so being able to manage those things along with my programs, the different events that we host, it's no way that I can remember if on Friday I have something to do. My calendar is my guide. And so for day one, that's my question to you all. So if you're watching this on a replay, or if you're doing this live with me, do you utilize Google Calendar? We're going to talk about in this 5-day challenge all the different tools that you should be implementing or be using in order to make sure that your life makes sense and it has order. And if you do utilize Google Calendar, I would love for you, as I'm going through this, to just share, like, what are the ways that it's helped you? What have you done to learn from it? I'm going to really go kind of like basic, but there are so many different ways you can utilize Google Calendar. And the cool thing is that I'm doing this 5-day challenge, but I will be in December doing an in-person workshop in which we will be working on implementing a lot of the different tools to get you set up going into the new year. But today I want to talk about Google Calendar. So if you're watching, I see different people coming in and out. Let me know, say, hey, how you doing? But also let me know if Google Calendar is a tool that you utilize, all right? I'm going to share my screen and just share some basic things in regards to Google Calendar. I'm going to go through it, and then I'm going to actually do it on real time, like show you a calendar and how you will plug this in, okay? And why does it matter that we are utilizing these tools? First and foremost, in order for you to be an effective business owner, an effective, I think, person, period, with time management, we have to put things on our calendars. We do not live in a world anymore where we could just keep everything in our heads. I remember there was a time when I was trying to do that. I'll forget things. I'm double booking. Also, you want to have a calendar because you're able to plug in your personal time. And I do that as well. Like when I'm going to the gym, if I'm going to get a massage, if I'm having lunch with my best friend, if I'm going to fill in the blank, I'm going to put it on my calendar, right? So let's go ahead and get started. And I'm going to share my screen and we're going to get into this presentation. Let's go. All right. So first and foremost, let's talk about, again, Jurema Gorham LLC. So I'm coming on my personal page. I'm also streaming this into my Facebook page. So if you have not already joined, you see it at the bottom. It is the Impact Builders Network. It's a group that I'm building that I really want to pour into and give best practices when it comes to business. So if you have not joined it, go ahead and join it. All right. So first and foremost, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. So I am Jurema. I have been in education since 2008. I have started Jurema Gorham LLC in 2020. I am currently a PhD curriculum instruction candidate. I became a candidate in 2023, and I'm currently working on my dissertation. I've worked in nonprofit ever since I was 18 years old. So I started actually working at a theater company where I did like management and bookkeeping and like outreach to schools. And then I've worked with a number of different nonprofits over the years before I started my own. I founded Burst Into Books, like I said in the intro, in 2018. I started this nonprofit being a full-time teacher, student, and mom. And so again, I understand trying to balance this hectic schedule. How do we get it done? And then since 2018, I have been able to grow our annual budget at our nonprofit 15 times since 2018. So we are now a 6-figure nonprofit. We have been on 18 plus media outlets as of now. We have partnerships with national and international organizations. These are just some of them. The Bulls, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Chicago Public Schools, and Library. I've hosted an annual community festival that has had, now we're up to like 2,000 plus. And I have designed over 50 community events, both in-person and virtual events. I'm really good at building strong systems and high-performing teams. And I've coached startups to organizations who are restructuring and creating a sustainable and thriving business. So I give you this background because I'm not speaking as someone who's just like, hey, let's just look at Google Calendar. If you look at my life, you understand why I need a Google Calendar, okay? So literally everything that I do is on my calendar, and it has really, really helped me to stay organized and also not to feel overwhelmed. I think that a big part of business owners is that we always feel like we got this never ending to-do list. And that's true, right? And we got a lot of people to meet with and a lot of things to follow up on. But don't multiply the stress by being disorganized, right? Like people I know who are business owners and disorganized tend to have an extra level of anxiety because you really are like, what am I forgetting? What am I not doing? Let's just put it all on the calendar. So today's workshop is called Unlock the Power of Google Calendar. We're going to organize, streamline, and stay ahead. Okay. So again, like I said, I'm going to go through the steps and then I will actually show you on Google Calendar how you would implement the different things. Okay. Hey Tawana, I stay overbooking before my calendar. Look, I'm looking at the noses I'm going between. So I stay overbooking before my calendar. Yeah, like I am so big about organization, you all. It's the only way to keep myself sane. All right, so set up your Google Calendar from scratch. So first and foremost, you open up Google Calendar. It is one of the apps that is on your Google platform. If you are a nonprofit, I strongly advise you get Google for Nonprofits. If you just have like your simple Google Calendar from your personal email, same thing. You can go to calendar.google.com, or once you log into like your Gmail and it has all the different dots, one of the options for the app is a calendar. You're going to click the plus sign next to the other calendars and create a new calendar. Again, we will go through all of these things. Name your calendar and customize its settings, the time zone, description, and then we will also save and start adding events. Okay, so again, you will go to Google Calendar, you will click the plus sign, other calendars, and select create a new calendar. Name that calendar, customize the settings, the time zone, description, and save and start adding events. All right. And so what we're going to do is actually do this first start. Why does this matter? So you may create a calendar for your different parts of life. So I have a calendar that is simply for births into books. I have a calendar that's also for Jurema Gorham LLC. I also have a calendar that's connected to my home. So if it comes to my son's practices or school and all those things. And so you can create different calendars that show up so that you're able to organize and see where things go in your life. All right. So let's look at what this looks like in real time. So I'm about to switch out of this and show you what it looks like actually doing it from Google Calendar. So let's go to Google Calendar. All right, so you see my screen here. So I'm gonna go to the little dots, click here where it says calendar, okay? And a date that I found, I didn't have a lot going on, was on 22nd. All right. All right, so as you can see, you have all these different calendars that are on the side. These are just a list of different calendars I've had. Now all of them are active. If you don't want to show up on your calendar, you just unclick it. So I had different book club groups, as you can see. Jurema's life is pretty busy, right? So we're going to start from scratch from what we just talked about. So we would go here where it says create, right? If I'm trying to create a different calendar, going down here, go down to my calendars. Other calendars is plus sign. So if I'm going to create a new calendar, I'm going to say new calendar. I'm going to name it home life. Let's just say that. Just give me the name. When I was talking about the description, this can be for daily events and tasks that need to be done at home. All right. The time zone is central. That's what we are. And then I just create this calendar. Okay. It says the calendar creation is in progress. And so home life is successfully added. So if I go down and scroll down, I'm going to see home life. This is home life now, right? So let's go back. So now if I'm trying to create events and I want it to be for home life, that could be an option. So let's say I want to start creating an event. I'm going to click here where it says event. When it comes up, I can then try to figure out, okay, so which calendar is it connected to? Or not which calendar is connected to, but like what event is this tied to, right? So if I'm going here, I'm going to say the title is Go to Grocery Store, right? I could say what time period do I want that to happen? We're going to do it at 9, let's say 9 a.m. and then we'll end it at 10 a.m. Okay, an hour. Keep scrolling down. Like, what's the task? Again, all different things I want to add to it. If I wanted to add somebody to join this calendar, I could. And then we'll just save it. All right, so as you can see, it's saved on here. So again, if I'm trying to organize my life, I may want to create different calendars. Right now, this particular one is under Jurema. But if I want to change it to be under home life, I would just scroll, find home life. Home life is yellow. So then when I save this, it's going to come up yellow on my calendar. So it's also, which I'm going to get to next, really, really important, not for me, is that I color coordinate my different things when it comes to my calendar. So let's go back really quickly to the slides as far as like setting up this calendar. All right, so set up my Google Calendar. So I went to Google Calendar. You can go to calendar.google.com. You can click the plus sign like we did other calendars and create a new calendar. Name your calendar and customize its settings as I did, time zone description, and save and start adding events. Now, the next thing I want us to consider when we are talking about the events, as I already showed you, is that we color code the task and the event categorization. So why is color coding so important? Visually, it differentiates the tasks, the meetings, and the deadlines. Quickly, you can assess your priorities at a glance. So for instance, what we're going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to end with actually just being on the calendar doing the different things. So I think that that's better than me flipping back and forth. StreamYard is kind of interesting as I'm moving back and forth the task, but color coordinating allows you to differentiate the task. You're able to quickly assess. So if I see a lot of yellow, I know I got a lot of things I need to do for myself at home. If I coordinate Burst into Books as blue, then I know, okay, I need to do these things for at home, and then I need to go do this for Burst into Books. I associate my tasks and my movements with what the objective is, right? And then when you apply the colors, you could just quickly just right click on the event or task and you just choose a color for it. You can assign, like I said, unique colors for your work, personal, and other categories. And again, it just helps you visually be able to keep in order the things that you're doing. Now, reoccurring and setting reoccurring events and reminders are awesome. So for instance, I tutor. And so tutoring is something that I do on both Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. And it's the same time for the two students that I work with. And so instead of me having to do a single event, I can make reoccurring events, which I'll show you as well. This helps because not only am I able to set the frequency of it, whether it's daily, weekly, or monthly, it also is useful for regular meetings and daily habits. So for instance, I also really, really try to go to the gym in the morning. And so it's a reoccurring calendar invite on my calendar. And so I know like, hey, at this time is where I'm gonna be at the gym. At this time is when I'm going to be tutoring. Reminders are really important because you can set a reminder for an event. You can receive timely notifications for a task. So I usually, for example, if I have a meeting that's at 10, I set a 30-minute reminder, and that way I get a ding like, oh, in 30 minutes I need to be on this meeting. Especially if I know that I have a few things that's happening in the day. I might actually set a closer to the time reminder, like a 15-minute, so that I know like, hey, let me stop this task right now and start setting up for my meeting. Again, it's very, very important to have reoccurring events already set up. That way you're not forgetting to put it on your calendar week to week. But then also reminders are super important because, hey, life happens. And it's been times when I'm driving and I get a ding. I'm like, wait, oh my goodness, I got a meeting in 15 minutes. Let me figure out where I'm going to park and set up for this meeting. If I didn't have that reminder and it went straight to the meeting time, who will know if I'm going to be set up for it? All right. The next piece is integrating multiple calendars. And so if you are someone who has a calendar that is for multiple things, she said, I can vouch for your calendar and Google Sheets is beyond beautiful. Oh, thank you. And when I tell you, it's so important because Google Sheets, which is a whole nother day that we're going to work on this week. I love different tabs. I love categorization on there. And then Google Calendar is super, super important to be able to stay organized. So thank you all. Benefits of integrating multiple calendars is because you can keep your personal, team, and project based calendars in one view. Also, you can avoid scheduling conflicts. This is so, so important. So, for instance, like I said, I tutor, I have my business, my son's schedules, and I usually try to make sure whenever I'm putting things on my calendar that I put them on the right calendar. And that again, it's color coordinated, so I'm able to visually see it, but it helps me to avoid scheduling conflicts. Because when you have it on your calendar, you can also have it set up, which we'll talk later in the week. I have Calendly, in which I help people to get on my calendar. It avoids me having conflicts because you won't be able to even book the time because it's already on my calendar. If you don't utilize Google Calendar along with another tool like Calendly, it's very easy to double book. This has helped me so much because I put everything on my Google Calendar. When I do use another tool like Calendly, I don't overbook or have a conflict because it allows to talk to one another to make sure things are all aligned. And how do you integrate multiple calendars? Well, you would just simply go to your other calendars and click the plus sign to select to subscribe to a calendar and use different colors for each calendar for clarity. So if you have a calendar for your home life, a calendar for your business, a calendar for school, a calendar for fill in the blank, like I have a calendar for when I go bowling, like personal time. That way, colorfully, I can see what things are, but also I can make sure things do not overlap. All right. And the activity I would love for you to do is to create your weekly schedule. So I'm going to give us this task and I'm going to show you in real time how I would do it. And I will need for you to do the same thing on your own. So the objective for utilizing your calendar is that you need to create your weekly schedule. So a lot of times people are not able to create their Google Calendar because they haven't really actually sat down and thought about their week. So that's something I want you to think about. Like maybe your things change from week to week, but if I looked at my schedule, even though I can be busy, I tend to have some of the same reoccurring things happen. And then also I'm able to really think about, okay, outside of my business, what are other obligations that I have? So for your activity, which I would love for you to work on this evening, is to create your weekly schedule. So what's the steps? We need to add any events or tasks that you have for this week. All right, today is Monday. So we're starting at the top of the week. Use color coding to categorize your activities that you're doing this week. Set reminders for important deadlines. And then share your calendar with a teammate if that's applicable, right? If you're married, maybe sharing your calendar with your husband or your wife, right? If you are on a team, like for instance, myself and my brother, we work closely together. He was like, let me share my calendar with you. So when we're trying to pick times to meet and do work, I could see his calendar and like, oh, he's not free at that time. Let's look at when he's available, right? And I want you to reflect on, how does organizing your week in advance reduce stress and improve your focus? Being a business owner, doing multiple things is already a stressful thing, but having things organized will help reduce stress and improve your focus because you already go in the week. Like I legit, you all wake up every morning or the night before and I look at what's happening the next day. And it just helps me because I know that if I have to do it, it's on my calendar. I don't have to sit and look at them like, what did I miss? It literally reduces my stress. Like even today, I'm like, okay, I don't have nothing until 1 o'clock. Cool. Now I know my morning is free. I know I did not forget anything. I didn't overbook. Again, but if you don't utilize your calendar, you're not going to be able to have that ease of mind, right? So we're going to very quickly design a weekly schedule. I'm going to do a couple of days in real time so you can see how you can do it. And then do not hesitate to reach out to me through DM, call me if you know me, or even put your questions in the chat, and then we can come back and talk about your calendar creation. All right. So let me go ahead and stop sharing these slides and let's go and do our own Google Calendar. So let's play around with this. So first thing is we want to be able to look at a clear screen, right? So this is Friday the 22nd. So let's just say that this was your Monday. First, we created our home life, right? We created home life and it came on here already. And let me uncheck these other ones because all of these are like old things. Don't get overwhelmed by all my groups, y'all. It's just me and all my 1,000,001 things I do in life. So we create a home life one. Let's create another one just for fun. So I'm going to say grad school. So we'll create another calendar. So if I go to here to where it says my calendars, right? The plus sign, we're going to create a new calendar. We're going to add, I'm going to call this grad school. Times on the same, description, I'll say assignments and study time. Okay. So we're going to create that calendar. Home life, grad school, what's something else? Workout. And then because we should all be working out. We just should all be doing it. Okay. And then let's say fitness, workouts, and meal prep. Okay. And then we create that calendar. All right. So let's go back here. So I'm going to, and these are other calendars. See, so these are, when it says other calendars, these are other calendars I've subscribed to that have helped me to be able to stay organized with other folks. But for this exercise, we only want to do the ones we created. So we're going to check home life. I'm going to check fitness, grad school, and we're going to even uncheck Jurema. All right. So in order to start adding events, so on Friday, I want to go to the grocery store. Maybe if you're like me, you want to start doing your workouts at 5 a.m. All right, let's join this 5 a.m. workout club. So I have workout. It's under fitness. And the time, 6 a.m. We're going to make this a reoccurring thing, right? Reoccurring. So the cool thing I also like about Google Calendars, it can say focus time. So if you link, say, your Google and maybe your other devices, you can have it that is like do not disturb. So it'll mute any other, like if you use Google Chat and you're like, hey, during this time, I don't want to have any interruptions from Google Chat, it'll mute that for you, which I think is really cool. And then if someone tries to get on your calendar at that same time, it'll automatically decline the meeting. So if someone sends you a meeting request that's during that time, it will automatically just decline. Hopefully ain't nobody trying to have no 5 o'clock in the morning meeting with you anyway. All right, but let's just add that. We keep going down. Appointment schedule. We got the tasks. We'll just say running and weightlifting. That's what we're going to do. The location. So choose location. You could, another location for me, I work out at the Croc Center. So I'll put Croc Center. So that's the location where I'm at. And let's hit save. All right. And working location, Croc Center. Now let's say, so now we have that on our calendar. Now let's say I now want to add grad school. So I'm going to go study for grad school, right? Does this meeting repeat? All right, so this is what we're trying to figure out. Did we want to have a repeating meeting? I would say yes, every Friday. I want to, weekly on Fridays, I want to study from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. That way I don't even have to continually try to figure out whether or not I want this on my calendar. Every Friday from 11 to 12, we're going to be studying. I can add the location if I want. I don't have to. I can have it that it notifies me before 11 a.m. So I would like for it to notify me 15 minutes before 11 a.m. so I can know that that's what I need to be doing. The calendar is currently set on is Jurema, but I want to set it on grad school. And the color I made it, it could be brown if I like. And then if I want to add additional notes here, I can. If I was going to be studying with somebody, I could send them a calendar invite. That way I can just add their email here and it'll pop up who they are and then they can get that invite as well. And then it's already on my calendar. So again, I made this a recurring. So weekly on Fridays, well, I'm going to show you another Friday. It's going to show that every Friday is going to show 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. It's going to show it's on my grad school calendar. It's also, I didn't put a location, but hey, let's put Harold Washington Library. That's where I'm going to study at. And then if I want to invite somebody, if I added their email when I save this, it'll send them a calendar invite for the same thing. So let's go ahead and save this. And as you can see, I now have grocery. I also now have study on my calendar. This one I actually want to delete because I don't like how that came up. So let's go back to workout. Same thing. Do I want this to repeat? I do want to repeat. And I'm actually going to put daily. Every day I want to work out at 5 a.m. Let's pray that happens. Let's go here. I'm going to click fitness. Fitness. I could change it to be any color I want, but I'm going to make it stay purple. The location here is where I want to put Croc Center. All right. The Croc Center is where we're going to be working out. Do I want to add a description? No, but I did make this a daily occurrence. So now daily on every day going forward, it's going to show me working out at 5 a.m. All right. And the time zone set, busy, cool. And let's go ahead and save this. So now if I look at my calendar, not only do I have, good evening, Sean. Not only do I have workout, I have grocery store, I also have study for grad school. Okay. Now, these, remember, yellow meant that these are home life things. So maybe I need to also go ahead and I have cleaning service. that's going to be at the home maybe from 1 to 3. This is not a repeating thing, so it does not repeat. The calendar I'm going to put this on is home life, which is yellow. The time is set. If I needed someone else in my home to know that, I could share that so it could be on their calendar. But in this case, it's a no, right? And then I'm going to go ahead and save. Now, why does this help me? So if I have my Google Calendar and I look on Friday, I'm like, okay, cool. I go work out from 5 to 6. I have free time from 6 to 9. So I know, like, hey, after the gym, if I want, I can go back home. I can go ahead and take a shower. I can read. I can do whatever I need. I could throw that, I could do whatever in the middle because from 6 to 9, I don't have anything on my schedule. However, from 9 to 10, I have set to go to the grocery store. So I'm going to go to the grocery store. But after that, I have free time between 10 to 11. Cool. That means I can go home, put the groceries up. And then once I'm done with that, I should head to grad school. We'll go study for grad school at the library. However, because I look at my calendar and I see at 1, that's a home life responsibility. While I'm at the library, I know I have a hard stop at 12 because I need to get back at the house by 1 because the cleaning service is going to be there, right? So it's super important, this even in this short little demonstration, how a Google Calendar can help you, right? What also helps me is that I have times in which I block, right? So it is okay to block things on your calendar so that things do not get in the way. So for example, I have, which I'll show you all again later in the week, Calendly, which I allow people to be able to book time on my calendar. However, if I wanted to be like, hey, but after the cleaning service, I'm not doing nothing else, I'm going to put that on there. Personal time. Okay. And I'm going to have some personal time from 3 all the way to 5. And as you can see, Jurema is blue. I'm going to keep it at blue. And I know that that personal time is just for me. So after the cleaning service from 3 to 5, because then after that, I probably got to pick up Trey or whatever. That is nothing. I'm not doing no grad school. I'm not working out. I'm not doing nothing for the home. I'm just doing something for me. And you need to put personal time on your calendar because a lot of times when we don't put on our calendar, we don't take it, right? I could even say in between this 10 to 11, 12 to 1 is not personal time. I'm traveling probably, right? I'm traveling from the grocery store to the grad school, or grad school, I'm traveling to the back home. But putting personal time on my calendar is super, super important. And so again, this 5-day challenge that I'm doing this week is really for us to look at our lives and how do we get things in order so that we can be able to produce and be better, right? Not just better producers of money and things for our business, but how do we just increase our quality of life, all right? And mastering tools and systems will help you to do that. And so today's whole spiel and whole talk was about mastering your Google Calendar. Your task is to think about your week. If you have not utilized Google Calendar, maybe it's a lot. It's already Monday to think about the whole week. But I will task you to think about at least the next 2 days, right? Tuesday, Wednesday. What do you have to do? Is it on your calendar? If not, plug it in and start getting the habit of doing that. Like I literally in the moment of conversations with someone, if they tell me something, I'm putting it on my calendar, or I'll ask them, send me a calendar invite. That way it's saved on my calendar. You don't get used to using tools unless you utilize them. So Google Calendar might not be an automatic thing that you start doing, but if you start doing it regularly, you're going to start seeing the benefits of utilizing your Google Calendar. All right. And so let's go ahead and close this out. Mastering your Google Calendar. Why is this so important? First and foremost, let's talk about takeaways. All right. Takeaways. So one of the majors, yeah, definitely try it. Try doing the color coordination because again, it's going to help you in so many different ways. First and foremost, you want to make sure that you are thinking about key takeaways. Mastering your Google Calendar helps you to save time and reduce stress. All right. So the first thing is you want to think about, in an already busy schedule, how do you continue to make your life and your time less stressful? It helps you to stay on top of your tasks and your commitments. Again, we don't want to miss any important meetings. We don't want to overbook ourselves. You could collaborate more effectively with your team. So, like I was showing you, there is a way at the bottom where you can actually share your calendar with somebody else, and that way they're able to see your calendar in real time. This is super important if you work in a collaborative team. Like, even when I was working in a school, grade levels will share their calendars with one another. I would share my calendar with the people I managed, because it just allowed us to, when we're trying to quickly see, like, oh, are they in their office right now? Are they doing this right now? You could be able to understand what's a good time to connect. Also, the other part is that it allows you to be able to just kind of look at your week at a glance. And for me, having a Google Calendar helps me to know, when do I need to create the breaks that I need. So I did not put this in here. I guess this would go along with saving time and stress. If I look and I have a very heavy week and I've incorporated in my calendar that I don't have meetings on Wednesdays and Fridays for this purpose, it allows me to not have a whole rainbow across the week, because that's not good for anybody. So having the color coordination helps you to know, like, where most of your time is being spent, and also where do you need to create those breaks in order to ensure that you are not overbooking yourself. So hopefully this was helpful. Again, we are all about how are we able to build, how are we able to get more organized going into 2025. I will be coming back tomorrow with another helpful tool. Again, this is our 2025 setup 5-day challenge. Today was about mastering your Google Calendar. Play around with it, right? If you need help, if you need assistance on getting things in order, just let me know. I love these types of things. Also, it is definitely going to be a game changer when it comes to staying organized. All right. Hopefully this was helpful for you. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we talk about, hey, no problem. You know, I like the sound of that. Dr. J. What a time. But again, it's just about how we able to continue to maintain and build our businesses. It's so important. And so first step is mastering your Google Calendar. I'm not going to give you a hint for tomorrow's challenge, but do tonight, look at your weekly schedule, come up with what you're going to do today. Today is already ended, right? But start thinking about what you normally do on Mondays. And if already, think about your Tuesday. Well, you know about it now. All right. You on here now. You can watch the replay. Why did I know about this? I'm gonna be doing a 5-day challenge every single day. Today, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm gonna go live and I'm gonna share just different tips that can help you as a business owner. So today was about mastering your Google Calendar. Tomorrow will be another helpful tool. So tune in. I look forward to hearing from you all how getting your calendar in order will help you. And again, if you have any questions, again, let me know. Until tomorrow, take care.